In 2009, one movie single-handedly kick-started the 3D craze, which nearly lasted the better part of a decade. Thank you, James Cameron. James Cameron is one of the most visionary directors working in Hollywood today. He has crafted such movies as Terminator, Terminator 2, Aliens, True Lies, Titanic, The Abyss, and Piranha 2, The Flying Killers. He's long been a favourite director of mine simply because he literally pushes the boundaries of technology when creating his movies. If he doesn't have the technology available to make his vision come to the screen, it will create it and then push the technology forward. He is truly amazing, and the movies that he creates, nearly each and every one of them is a massive, groundbreaking blockbuster. The man is a true genius. I love his movies so much, and I'd be hard-pressed to find one that somebody out there does not enjoy. Arnold Schwarzenegger was his muse for a long time, collaborating together on a lot of his more successful films. And also here he collaborates again with Sigourney Weaver, who we worked with previously on the hugely entertaining and massively successful Aliens. Coming back together again to give us another massive, groundbreaking, amazing, absolutely spectacular looking movie, Avatar. Now, this is my first time seeing Avatar in 3D since the initial theatrical run way back in 2009, nearly 10 years ago. I can't believe it. And it's amazing. It truly is the only way to watch this movie 3D. This film is just stunning. The world he has created is just amazing. Starring Sam Worthington as Jake Sully. Go Aussie. Zoe Saldana as Natiri. Sigourney Weaver as Grace. Michelle Rodriguez as Trudy. Stephen Lang, Giovanni Ribisi, and Joel David Moore. Now, the plot of Avatar is kind of simple, really. It's about invasion. A paraplegic Marine played by Sam Worthington is sent on a mission to the moon of Pandora, replacing his identical twin brother who has unfortunately passed away because his unique DNA code has been matched perfectly with an avatar. The Na'vi who live on Pandora are the indigenous creatures to that planet, and for humans the environment is totally inhospitable, so they create avatars which are a cross between humans and Na'vi, who are then through a simulation controlled by the human hosts, who are in a tank, safe and sound, linked to the avatars, who then can coexist with the native people. Now, Giovanni Ribisi runs a corporation whose sole intention of going to Pandora is to mine its resources. He's found a natural product from that planet, a rock called unobtainium, which is worth millions of dollars per kilo back home on Earth. And unfortunately, the Na'vi are living on top of a massive resource, and Giovanni Ribisi wants them gone. Otherwise, he will annihilate them to get what he wants. Sigourney Weaver plays a scientist who is all about educating the Na'vi in human ways, teaching them English and coexisting and trying to learn as much about them as possible and trying to find a peaceful solution to their problems. And her team, including Sam Worthington's Jake Sully, work together to try and find another solution. Stephen Lang's evil Colonel character gets Jake to gather intel so that he can use it for his own advantage. He's all about military tactics and he wants to use his shock and awe campaign and he just wants to blow shit up. Jake falls in love with Zoe Saldana's character, Natiri, and then we end up having a full-scale war as basically the humans who have come and invaded Pandora, who are the aliens, kick the native people out of their home, burn it to the ground, and almost cause a genocide of these native people who they mistakenly assume are just savages living in trees. They live in tune with nature. They commune with the environment around them, with the animals and the plants. And it's a communal environment that they live in, peaceful, harmonious, and really quite beautiful. So they fight back. They don't want to be kicked out of their own damn house. It's just rude. So that's the general basic plot of the movie. Humans come to Pandora to try and mine the resources and get their asses kicked by the native inhabitants. Sound familiar? So even though the story is kind of simple, the execution of this movie is nothing short of breathtaking. When I first saw this at the theatre back in 2009 with my 3D goggles on, it was such a novelty back then. It was one of the first, or if not the first 3D movie in a long, long time. And 3D movies have been around. They've been around since the 50s with those fantastic alien monster movies they used to make all the time. But what James Cameron did here was push the technology and made it something that we've never seen before. Instead of all about things poking out at the camera and leaping out at the audience, he has given the film a really amazing sense of depth. And it just looks so amazing. Yeah, you do have the occasional spear and the occasional arrow pop out of the screen. But the world that he's created here, and everything is computer generated by Weta. And it's just absolutely astounding what they've done here. You forget that you're watching a computer generated environment on screen. It is so realistic and so beautiful, and the amount of work that went into this thing, they took 4 years from the start of production to the day of release to get this out there, and it's a stunning piece of work. We know that James Cameron has been working on the sequels for a number of years, and it's just become a bit of a joke now. Man, it's been nearly 10 years since this one came out, and Avatar 2 and Avatar 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, whatever he wants to do, has been on the cards for a long time. And it's, people are just kind of over it and sick of waiting, just make some movies, James Cameron. But when you revisit this movie, especially on 3D, like it's intended to be watched, it kind of just reminds you what an amazing filmmaker he is, and how good at creating a world like totally unique to Earth on screen. So it kind of restores your faith in his vision, and it really wants you, well, made me to really want to see what he does next in this world. And if he's waiting this long to push the technology even further and to make it even more realistic, then I'm quite happy to wait. Because if he's going to deliver anything on the scale of what he did with Avatar nearly 10 years ago, I think what he does bring next will be absolutely amazing. With where technology is now, where our special effects, what he could do just boggles the mind, and I really can't wait to see what he does with it. This film is it's just astounding. I know I keep saying that, but it's one of my favourite films ever made. Nearly every one of James Cameron's films is in my top 10. It was such a treat seeing Avatar in 3D once again. The 3D was just so pretty. A lot of depth. Wasn't as good as when I saw it at the theatre the first time. It just wowed me. And watching it again like today on my big screen TV, so it didn't quite have the same effect, but still looked really nice, and it was really cool and quite a kick seeing the Na'vi flying around the screen again in the 3D, and it was just gorgeous. It really was. And speaking of the Na'vi, oh my god, what an amazing creation. The Weta team have done something absolutely astounding. When they did Gollum for Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, which is what James Cameron, when he saw it, kind of decided for him that this technology is where it needs to be for him to create this movie. What they did with Gollum and what they do here is just leaps forward. It's crazy how much the technology has grown in regards to motion capture, and everything is just photorealistic, and the world he's created, the ecosystems, the animals, and it's such a beautiful, harmonious environment that when people watch this, they went to this movie like dozens of times when it was initially released, and they were actually getting withdrawal symptoms after not seeing it for a while. They got so hooked on the world of Pandora and its beauty, they actually started getting started suffering addiction loss. They wanted to go back, and depression kicked in. This is shit I read. This is true. I read it on the internet, so it has to be true. So yeah, James Cameron's Avatar in 3D is absolutely astounding. I highly recommend it. If there are a few people left in the world who have not seen this movie, then do yourself a favour, whack it on and have a look. It's amazing. Even in the old boring 2D, it's a top film. It really is quite awesome. But if you have a 3D player and you haven't seen it in a long time, yeah, definitely check it out. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. His movies are just magical. Anyway guys, thanks for checking into my channel. That's my review on James Cameron's Avatar in 3D. It was bloody amazing. Don't forget to subscribe, throw me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.